Right on time. Right on time. Um, Kyle, you know what my favorite part about being a dad is?
What's that?
Is going and getting a nice cup of coffee in the morning and your kids, as they start to wake up, the day is happening and I I go to the bathroom. Maybe it's just to wash my hands or throw something away, and there it is. A giant log in the toilet with no toilet paper on top of it, with a dry sink.
Yeah, yeah. How do you know
And
that for kids?
yeah, right. Like what my wife is just dropping heaters and not doing like not wiping her butt and washing her hands.
Oh man.
And so and so
Uh,
when I do it, I don't make a big deal out of it.
right.
But, flush the toilet and I'm just like, hey guys, you're gonna get pink eye or
Yeah.
or maybe they're not. You're just gonna get chapped.
Yeah.
And then when Sarah finds it, it's like, oh my God, you guys are disgusting. Wow. It's like makes a huge deal out of it. And
Oh,
uh,
absolutely.
it's always fun in those moments where you're like this is gonna sound gross, but like no one ever told me part of being a dad is literally genitals and feces. There's just it's just a ton. It's a buckets of your own kids'
Yeah.
feces and genitals and throw up
Yeah.
and just like one of my favorite things to do back in the day was find when they were still using sippy cups
Yeah.
was using finding milk sippy cups that had been stuffed under a couch and
Oh
left there
yeah.
for 3 months.
Oh
And then
yeah.
when I would go above the sink and open them and they'd pop and explode.
Oh.
Oh, and they just the beautiful smell of curdled milk.
Oh, I
Oh my
know. Just a
God.
slunk as it pours out in just one cylinder of old milk. Oh yeah. Yep. No, I know that life. I mean, I wonder at what age do boys stop peeing all over the toilet seat?
Oh my God.
That's my
Knox.
question.
Well, the other day my oldest or my youngest son, he ended up getting he was waking up and I was coming out of my bedroom and he was peeing with the door open and he had his eyes closed and his eyes were closed and his chin was down on his chest like this and he wasn't even making it in the toilet. He was just like
Oh man.
sprinkling the entire edge and then he flushed the toilet with no pee in it and
Right.
then he turns around and walks out of the bathroom. And
Yeah.
I go, "Do you know what would happen if I did nothing right there?" And my wife sat down on that toilet seat, just soaked in urine.
Oh man.
And I go, buddy, I know you're tired and you just woke up, but we got to fix something real quick.
Yeah. 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 I think women have it figured out to sit to pee.
Oh my God.
Women have it figured out.
Oh my God. How have you been, dude?
I've been good. I've been good. My finger's healing, and that's good. It's feeling better each day, which makes me be able to sleep better, which makes life better. Work has been very busy, which is really good. It's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I hoped it would be. Because if you're not busy, you're not making money.
Right.
So there's obviously a balance of getting too busy and then getting burned out. But it's I really appreciate it. So I feel really lucky.
Yeah.
So I think life is good. Everybody's pretty healthy right now. How about you guys?
Yeah. I mean, we're in a state in our summer, right? We're in the middle of baseball season. So my youngest son, he's in club baseball. My oldest son is in club baseball. My daughter is getting ready to go into her summer of fun, which is like she's got wrestling camps, she's got church camps, she's got like trips planned with grandparents. Same with my son. Next week, my oldest boy, he's going on a fishing trip with his grandpa,
Oh yeah.
my father-in-law, and so it's just this. It is. There's. I wish you could see a picture. I'll bring it at some point. We have a calendar,
Oh yeah.
and if you were to see what is written down on that calendar, holy shit! Every day has a line, meaning it's a 2 day or 3 day event,
Yeah.
and then or it's a baseball game or it's a camp or a practice or there are 0 days off in June and July.
Right.
I'm not joking, man.
I no, I totally believe you. It's
Yeah,
funny how that happens. It's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to relax this summer, and then you see your summer schedule. It's like, oh wait a minute, I,
yeah,
it's not gonna be relaxing. It'll be fun, but relaxing is not the right word.
yeah, yeah. And then like, so I hear this. What are we? When are we going to go on vacation? What are we going to do for a vacation? What about a vacation? We have no time. I'm like, well, then don't sign up our kids for
Yeah,
all of these things,
I know.
right? There's like camps, and I think our boys are going to a camp together
Yeah,
at
they
some
are.
point, things like that. I'm just like, well, give us some time. So our August is going to be, we're going to have like a 3 week period where we're going to try to do everything in a 3 week period, right? So there's no really like sitting around
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Like I need to do a landscaping project. I'm not going to have time to do that anymore until August probably. I'm getting new siding, new windows. Like it's
Whoa.
just, yeah,
All right.
it's crazy. Thank
Yeah.
you, insurance and hail damage.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure. My roof got destroyed a number of years ago, and so we got to get a brand new steel roof.
yeah,
It's
yep,
awesome.
yep. Well, my friend, we went to the text messages this morning and last night, and we were kind of just like, "Hey, dude, what do you want to talk about?" And I think we've done a really good job of talking so far. There's so much to talk about, but really good job so far talking about the mental and emotional aspect of health and communication and shit like that.
Hmm.
But I also think that one of the biggest components is the physical side of
Hmm.
mental health um, and well-being or fitness or whatever however you want to look at that. And so when you brought that up a while ago, I was just like, it's a no-brainer because I've seen personally
Yeah.
gigantic results.
Yeah.
And why, so let's just ask this question: why do you think physical fitness, and especially, I know for all people, but let's stick to our category, 40-year-old men for
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm. What's the question?
The question is, like, why did you bring that up? Why did you feel like that is important?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well, for me, I feel like fitness used to just be built into my life.
Uh-huh.
Played a lot of sports in high school. Played a lot of sports just growing up. From the second my mom could put me in whatever t-ball in kindergarten,
Hmm.
I was just super, super active. And grew up on a farm, lots of space, super active. I noticed myself like slow down in college and put on some weight for the first time in my life. Like wasn't
Yeah.
just in like immaculate shape. I wasn't
Right.
even trying to be in shape, but when in high school when I was in crazy good shape, wasn't trying to be in shape. That's just a byproduct of being so active. And then college hit and I stopped playing sports and I just sat around and ate and watched TV and got fat for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. And I just looked down one day and realized, whoa, who is this? And I started working
Couldn't
out again and
couldn't
boom,
see your
instantly
dick.
got in shape. Say it again.
You looked down and you couldn't see your dick.
Yeah, right. Well, it wasn't that bad, but
Yeah.
if I would have kept on that same trajectory, yeah, that would have been
The old beer
shocking.
gut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I actually didn't start drinking until after I graduated from college. I didn't drink any. I never drank alcohol in high school or college.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
That's
didn't.
impressive, dude.
It was different. I mean, I was definitely that. I'm not sure if I knew anyone else that didn't drink.
Hmm.
I didn't drink because I I was a little bit wild sober
Hmm.
and was I'm a pretty impulsive person and I really thought there's a good chance I couldn't handle it. Like I was afraid of what I would do if I got drunk is really the main impetus for not drinking.
Yeah.
Also I had a fear that I had a fear that I would be a different person when I was drunk than I was when I was sober because I saw so many people turn into like angry, belligerent dickheads,
Right.
and I people that are like nice guys, or women that are like nice people when they would drink, they would just turn into jerks. And I thought, oh God, if that's inside of me, I don't even want to meet it.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't drink. But once I once I started drinking, I think it was at the very, very, very tail end of undergrad. Um, I learned, luckily, that I'm just a happy drunk,
Yeah.
and so I just get happy. Um, I think this is still in line with our idea of like how health changes over the lifespan. Just sticking with this drinking for just a minute longer.
Yeah.
Drinking when I first started drinking was super fun. It's like really fun, really relaxing. It just like took away my inhibitions, made everything sillier. It was all cool. It was all shits and giggles. And
Mhm.
yes, the hangover sucked. That's definitely true. That's always been the case. But the older I've gotten, dude, the more tired I get. I
Yeah.
just get tired. I don't. It's so rare that I crave drinking anymore. And I know that you guys have stopped drinking. And I'm curious, like, what benefits have you noticed even just in the past number of weeks, or
Yeah.
what difference have you noticed?
Alcohol. So I have to share my story with alcohol because it was huge, dude. I mean, I had my first drink of alcohol in seventh grade.
Yeah.
Right, small town Iowa, nothing to do, parties. You hear the story 1,000 times. First time I got drunk was in eighth grade. Uh, well, maybe a little buzz, right? First time I actually got drunk was in like major drunk. I drank like 6 beers, ninth grade. And then that continued on getting worse and worse and worse and drinking more and more and more. Um, my high school life was kind of like dazed and confused, minus the weed. Like I didn't smoke marijuana in high school,
Yeah.
and but my weekends and even some weeks, like I can remember going drunk to school a couple times, right? And so I didn't come from a house of parents that drank. They didn't drink, but I
Right.
did. Mostly, my guess is peer pressure, right?
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
from an alcohol standpoint, I went into college and I was drinking. The good thing though was I was able my first weekend in college. Actually, my dad helped drive me up. I drove up. My dad was there with me. We unloaded. He handed me. It was a Friday night or a Saturday night. He handed me like $100 bill. I can remember in 1999, and he goes, "Hey, go make some friends tonight." And so I had to go find somebody who was 21, bought like a whole like 2 30 packs of Bush Light, so I had like
Yeah.
60 beers
Yeah.
in my truck on ice, whatever, and like I was underage, I was drinking, but I knew how to handle alcohol by that point because that night I found out that it's not a good idea to just come in and try to keep up with somebody in college. So I had a whole bunch of people who never drank before get drunk. There's people throwing up all over
Oh yeah.
and just like, and I'm sitting here after like 6 beers, just what I felt was fine.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, this is very strange. Must have been what I was like in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then college happened. I turned 21 and it was fucking on. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was full throttle like booze. I mean, everything revolved around booze. I worked out. I played on a rugby team in college, and that was like a party team with a rugby. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was all social.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Chasing girls and bars. The bad part is for me that did not stop at college. And so I kept doing that till I was about 30. And I
Yeah.
would say that they're in that time frame post college because class actually kept me in some way. Like I didn't skip class. I went to class no matter what.
Smart. That's the cheat
Yep.
code to doing well in college,
Yep.
kids.
And so, but I did hammer booze 4 or 5 nights a week. I mean,
Yeah.
drunk at least Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, sometimes a Sunday fun day after a rugby game. And then there's specials at bars all the time.
Oh
So
yeah.
I know this is a very long way of saying that after college, there were nights where I was drinking 18 beers a night when I
Yeah.
was like, and so you can call that what you want. I'll call it an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And so I I didn't really slow down with drinking until I got married and had kind of a aha moment where I was just like, Jesus, man, like like you need to slow down. And then it became weekend, and then I would go in waves where it was like, like I'm just gonna have one beer a night. Well, that one beer a night turned into three 2-ounce glasses of bourbon, right? And so the next thing you know, I'm to the point, and then now I'm 45, and then I have like a couple weeks ago, I had no, it was like three. It was like a couple months ago. I'm sorry. I can remember having 2 beers on a Saturday night. I woke up Sunday morning, my knees hurt, my back hurt. Like I was just like in
Yeah.
rough shape over 2 beers. And I'm and
Yeah.
and so I'm not gonna really go in detail about my wife and her journey with alcohol, but I will say that part of my decision was also based off of her decision to quit drinking as well.
Hmm.
And so I just really feel that in that time frame, the benefits that I have seen from quitting alcohol, period, is like I wish I would have never started it. And that's a message that I'm going to share with my children.
Yeah.
Very hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's wild what our bodies can handle when we're younger, or maybe we're just dumber. That
Yeah.
that the hangovers were horrible. They were
Mm-hmm.
horrible. I,
Mm-hmm.
I hated being hungover, but it always still sounded like a good idea to go drink again
Mm-hmm.
until it didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
kind of glad that my body started making that shift of like, hey, Kyle, maybe you don't want to do that, bud.
Yeah.
Like think about I think maybe it's part of maturing of thinking of the consequences. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got stuff to do tomorrow, or oh, I don't really want to be feel groggy for like the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you the worst day. There was 2 days in this that were, I mean, number one, I almost died in a car wreck in high school.
Mm,
Alcohol played a huge role in that. Um, that was that was scary. But when you're young, you're just like, right, you just shrug it off. You almost, it's crazy how kids and immature people look at something like that and they almost get high fives from it. Oh, you almost died. Yeah, got
yeah, yeah,
hammered, got in a
yeah.
car.
Cool story.
Yeah, cool story, bro. After a rugby tournament in this was in college. I was in one town close to where we live, and I drove to back to where I went to college, blackout drunk. Didn't know I didn't know that I drove. I woke up the next morning to my mom. I was buck naked laying on my bed. My car was my truck or my Jeep at the time. Uh, all the doors were open in it. The lights were on at like 9 in the morning. And my mom was passing through town to go to her mom's. And I had no idea that I drove that far. And that's like 120 miles, something like that.
Wow.
Don't remember it. And like
Yeesh.
scary shit. I
Yeah.
remember one night, and this is just how bad it was. Like I drank a bottle of uh, Captain Morgan, and then I started in on a bottle of vodka,
Hmm.
and I blacked out. And I was in a guy. At the time I was in a radio station, and uh, at I was doing a show with a guy in the radio station. I was in his room, but he wasn't in it. And I thought it would be a good idea to literally throw everything that could fit out of the window of his dorm room. And that everything. And they're like his roommate was high, and so he thought what I was doing was funny.
Right.
I don't remember any of it. And
Right.
so the next morning I get some dude's trying to kick my door into my dorm room. He's
Yeah.
pissed, and he's like, "Dude, come to my room." And I'm like, "Dude, your room looks clean. There's nothing in it. What are you doing? Like, why are you mad at me?" He's like, "Look out the window," and all of his stuff is like out the window. And so I was like, "Holy shit, man!" Like, and
Yeah.
I didn't change. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't change after that. And then you get your body it starts to feel different. And so I struggled with alcohol for a very long time, and I had an epiphany that was like, how can I tell my kids to not do alcohol if they're seeing me do alcohol?
Yeah.
It's horrible for me. It's just everybody's journey is different, and
Yeah.
I just felt like I could possibly moderate now, but I don't want to. I just want to get it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've also had your fun with it, and you've
Mhm.
also been burned enough by it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
Yep.
Yeah, I also definitely think like the more and more responsibility we have, the less and less awesome it sounds. You know, like it was
100%.
back in the day to nurse a hangover like the whole next day or for the whole weekend wasn't that big of a deal because all I had to do was lay around on the couch. But the second you have kids, it's like there's no more like you don't ever get a day off, and you shouldn't want a day off. And it's also
Yep.
I don't want to be hungover and ruin a day that I could have spent with my kids
Yep.
or have to explain why I'm feeling really tired and just want
Yep.
to be on the couch and be left alone. Like that's
Yep.
prioritizing vices over kids.
Yeah. And as we all know, being a parent with a massive hangover is quite possibly the worst thing, period, in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I'd rather have major surgery than
Yeah.
have to go through that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Being hungover is also a child magnet.
Yeah.
If you're hungover, your kids need you. Your kids want
All
you
the time.
more than any other time in your whole life. If you're
Yeah.
hungover, your kids want you.
So, there was a time, this was actually, well, I think I quit drinking. It's been 4 weeks now, 5 weeks now.
Hmm.
And so, it's awesome to go through it with my wife too, because she's serious about it. I'm serious about it. So we got this little partnership that
Yeah.
we're trying to do.
Yeah. Give her
But
credit too.
the thing about even one beer was making me tired enough to where I would say, my youngest son come up to me, he goes, "Dad, will you play catch with me?" And I said no to him. Dude, that about broke my fucking heart
Yeah.
when that next day I was sitting around getting ready to crack another beer, and he asked me before I cracked it. And I said that I was just like, I even it was just one beer. It was just one beer made me tired enough
Yeah.
to not want to play catch with someone. He has all these people he could have played catch with in the neighborhood. He decided to pick me. And I was just
Yeah.
like, dude, you are a dumbass
Yeah.
for not playing catch with your son.
Right.
And so, dude, I am like, you only have these kids little for so long, and I want to cherish every moment of it. And if that means I
Yeah.
got to give up alcohol, I'm done with booze, dude. Period.
Amen. Amen to that. Absolutely. Let's tie it back into health in your 40s.
Oh, dude.
I had allowed myself, and I say it specifically that way, that I want to take responsibility and ownership for how poor of shape I had allowed myself to get into.
Mm-hmm.
I was in really good shape when I got married, and then I allowed myself to just let it all go. And
Yep.
I stopped working out and I just started eating and I gained a ton of weight and was 40 pounds heavier than I've ever been in my entire life and had no cardio strength and no muscle tone at all. And my kids would be like, they were little, so like they'd be like, "Daddy, chase me," and I'd be like, later." Like, Dad, you want to come out on the trampoline? I was like, I said I was saying no to my kids, and just
Yep.
exactly like you said, feeling like total shit about it, and just being
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my God, this is pathetic." Like, Daddy, wrestle with me, and I'd wrestle for like a couple minutes and be like, "All right, why don't you go find something else to do?"
Yeah.
And I had to like take a good hard look in the mirror and be like, "Dude, this is not how you thought this was gonna go. This
Yeah.
is not the dad. You're not being the dad you thought you were gonna be."
Right.
And that's when I signed up for the gym that
Yeah.
a bunch of our friends go to this local gym, and it's a really cool place. It's really hard workouts, and it's wonderfully structured and stuff. And so I went there and started getting back into shape, and man, my energy level went way back up. And then all of a sudden, like I was the one initiating play with my kids, and
Mm-hmm.
I just started chasing them, or I would just grab my son off the couch and just start wrestling with him. All the things that I always thought I would do as a dad, I was able to start doing that. Dude, embarrassingly, I just was not doing when I was so heavy. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Man, same. The alcohol, the diet, the lack of exercise. I went through a period of time where I was fat dad. Like,
Oh yeah,
I still, I still got some meat on the bones, right?
yeah, I do too.
But I, I have, I went through a phase where I was just kind of disgusted with myself. I just ballooned up to, and it wasn't like ballooned up to a weight, a specific number of a weight, but that weight had nothing behind it. There was no muscle with that weight. There was
Yeah.
no like
Yeah.
there was no cardio with that weight, right? So I'm not a believer that weight has anything to do with it. I'm
Right.
coming to find out that I'm wrong with that. But what I'm getting at is like I was like 240, 245, and I was just like slow and sweaty and gross and just like stuffing my face. Just
Yeah, me
I
too.
felt like I was a Cabbage Patch doll
Yeah.
like card.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting, right?
Those
And so
garbage pail kids.
yeah, garbage pail kids. That's the one. I felt like I was a garbage pail kid.
Yeah.
And so I had to do something. And
Yeah.
so this has been my issue though. And sometimes it sticks, and I hope it sticks this time. But it is my diet. I'm a yo-yo. Like I yo-yo all the time. Like I'll go into a phase where I'm really, really healthy, and I'll track my meals, and I'll work out and things like that.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I'm just like, okay, well, I'm now giving excuses of why I can't go do those things.
Oh yeah.
And what I have just come to the realization is that it has to be a lifestyle change in order for you
Mm-hmm.
to see the true benefits of it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm at the early stages of that right now, as far as no alcohol, having a somewhat standard fitness program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a category of men who it's hard for me to do certain things. So that's why I don't go to that gym anymore, because my shoulders,
Yeah.
like I can't do the boxing anymore because the shoulder pain. I can't do deep squats because of my knees. I've had surgery on both knees. I have two torn labrums in my shoulders. And
Yeah.
so I'm a beat up guy who has to rely now on diet to keep him healthy, because
Yeah.
that's a huge part of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And in a way that you never had to before. It used to be that we could just eat. Well, I mean, I could just eat whatever I wanted
Mhm.
all the time, and I ate horribly, but I used to work out so much that it didn't matter.
Right.
And there was um a point where I got into running with my little brother, and so we started running marathons together, and dude, I could extra eat anything I wanted and
Mm-hmm.
had no negative consequences. So I was getting away with the worst eating habits in the world and still being in incredible shape. And then my knees went to hell. So now my
Mm-hmm.
knees are totally shot. Running was like my favorite exercise to stay in shape, and that got taken away from me, and I just kept eating and
Yeah.
just ballooned up. How tall
That
are you?
I'm 6'1".
6'1". Okay,
Yep.
I'm 5'11", and I was in the low 240s, so I was even more of a
Yep.
garbage pail kid. Yeah,
the
dude.
the that is exactly what happened to me. So I was eating and eating and eating because I was doing this intense training. So I you know we're burning, or in those workouts that you do and my wife does and all our friends do. You're burning like potentially up to 1,000 calories
Oh yeah.
per workout.
Oh yeah.
Um, but at least 500 to 500 to 1,000 calories in some of those workouts,
Yep.
depending on how hard you push yourself.
Yeah.
And when you're burning 1,000 calories a day, you can eat an additional 1,000 calories a day to just break even where you're at,
Yeah.
right? And so what happened was I was in that state, feeling great, shoulder issue, knee issue, had to back off, and I kept eating those extra 1,000 calories. And then and when I mean it just hit like a wrecking ball, that weight came what felt like overnight to my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really something how it can happen. I think I just wasn't prepared for how easy it is to be in horrible shape.
Oh, you.
Also my eating habits are deeper than just having poor habits. Like
Mm-hmm.
I eat when I'm stressed. I eat when I'm bored. I
Same.
eat when I'm anxious. And so then like I will just like a bite of food is like one moment of happiness,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so I would pound whatever the, if it's ice cream or cookies or any sweets that would be around the house, man, I was all over it because like that was I was going to the wrong places for happiness. I should have been investing in things that were harder to get but would have been more satisfying. And I was
Yep.
going for like the really easy route of junk food.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that a lot. And I
Yeah.
still do. It's just still a thing that I struggle with. But I want to take ownership of eating for fun, eating when I'm bored, eating when I'm anxious, and putting that out there to everybody to if anybody else struggles with that, I think it's a pretty normal thing to struggle with.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned this from a guy. And maybe this might not work for everybody, but it kind of works for me. Because there's a point where you start, it's very hard to do two things at one time. So if you're going to start a fitness routine and start your diet, your body is going to instantly crave food when you're doing that, right? And so whether you start a diet first or you start a workout program first and then you start your diet, whatever the case is, you're going to go through a stage of like, I am starving, like I am hungry. You know what I do? And this guy taught me, you fill a giant cup up with water and you drink that water and you just try to wait a couple minutes.
Yeah,
And it's a short term, although it's short term, that water sits in your stomach and it gives you the feeling that you're kind of full.
yeah,
And then that feeling kind of goes away a little bit.
yeah,
And so that kind of prevents you from snacking and pigging out throughout the day, or
yep,
maybe you do that before you eat your dinner at night, and it just adds to the size of your stomach, which eventually that feeling goes away quicker, and ultimately that it's not really helping anything, because in
yeah,
order for you to truly lose weight because of a diet, your stomach needs to come back down a
yeah,
little bit from the
yeah.
amount of food that you're eating. And so um yeah, yeah, it's
Absolutely.
kind of a
Absolutely.
shortcut
When
there.
I'm doing my best, I am drinking a lot of water for that exact reason. I'll purposefully drink a glass of water before I start eating food so that I just eat less.
Yep.
And then I've noticed I can keep drinking water to feel full for
Mm-hmm.
longer. Even though my I don't think it's really stretching my stomach, but I can just feel full for longer so then I
Yeah.
have fewer cravings. I also how realize how weak my willpower is and how actually I need to control my environment rather than thinking I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna like will my way through anything when it comes to eating. So it's way better for me if I just don't have the sweets in the house. I've had to talk to my wife and be like, can you please don't buy any of this stuff. Like if it's
Yeah.
around, like when dude late at night, I start scrounging, you know?
Like a little rat in a
Yeah,
cupboard.
yeah, like a fat plumper little rat just looking around for things. And if there's nothing, then I'm just like, huh,
Yeah.
but I won't eat. I won't eat
Yeah.
any junk. But dude, I'll find if there's something, I'll eat it even if it's old,
Yeah.
which is how pathetic I feel when I do it. But yeah, starting with it, controlling my environment is so much better. So not having it around, and then keeping busy. Dude, when I'm busy, I don't want to eat. I don't think about eating. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I eat the most when I'm just like laying around. And
Right.
so I think like too much sloth, too much just laying around really contributes to my eating at
Yep.
this point in my life.
Yep. I'm in a way that's similar to that. Uh, my wife has excellent willpower.
Mm.
She can do with food. She can do. She can buy a Snickers bar or a tub of ice cream and take like one spoonful a day out of it, and that's it. I am the guy who opens that son of a bitch and crushes the whole container of ice cream at
Yeah,
one
that's
time.
just the bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And
Oh
so
yeah.
we have tried, and I hate to say it, but and I don't want this to sound arrogant, but I don't want fat kids. I don't want kids that run to sugar. We keep a lot of fruit in the house. Yes,
Yeah.
we have like yesterday after the baseball games, our kids had ice cream sandwiches, right? A little bit of a celebration post game. I'm not going to be like a food Nazi to them outside, but I also do not want ice cream sandwiches accessible every single day in our house.
Yeah.
So my wife and I have kind of made an asserted effort to not have that kind of junk food in our house. We have a snack basket that sits on top of our refrigerator that
Mm,
once a day they can come up there and grab something. But at the same time, we're not going to let them just go to town on
yeah.
shit. Right? We need
That's
some
smart.
food of substance and things like that.
Yep. That's smart. How do you fit exercise into your day?
Yeah, it is tough, honestly. Now that school is out, I feel like it could be potentially earlier because I wake up roughly. Some days I sleep in a little more. Some days I do not.
Hmm.
But my daughter has been getting up at 6 o'clock for school, which means that I'm usually up between 6 and 6:30,
Hmm.
and I then start getting ready for my day. Um, I don't eat breakfast ever. I don't. I never eat breakfast. I've just never been a breakfast guy. Um, and so I always eat like a bigger lunch. Okay. And so I start to work, and because of my schedule, in the evenings, if it's once 5 o'clock hits, I am like right now I'm doing a practice, shuffling kids to places, going to um, like other events and activities for the kids. And so my workout comes usually, I try to. I'm trying to get 3 to 4 days in a week. This week will be three. Uh, I'm going to say that it's usually about 2 or 3 in the afternoon before the kids get off school.
Hmm.
Now that the kids are home, they're really what it's going to be is me starting work at 6:30, working until noon, grabbing something to eat, working a couple more hours, getting in the gym, coming home, and then taking them to their activities. And the whole like the thing that I have found that works the best is a routine. When I had a job that I went to, I would work out over my lunch hour. When I had a job that was like routine, like I had to go someplace and then do something, and I was there from 8 to 5 or whatever the case was. That was awesome because I fit it into a routine. But
Yeah.
now work comes and goes throughout my day, and there's some days where I'm just overloaded and I'm working. I'm no joke working till 11 o'clock at night. I did that twice this week,
Yeah.
and so um, I do not have a 9 to 5 when you're a personal business owner, a small business owner. Like I'm just working to get the job done for the next day. I need to add routine into that again and find a little bit more schedule oriented time in my day. So it's kind of random sometimes,
Yeah.
but it and that sucks, man.
Yeah. Well, even when you're with a variable schedule, I still like the idea of I want to work out 3 to 4 times a week. That's at least a semblance of structure, so you can say wherever I fit it in. It would be best if I could schedule it, but if I
Hmm.
can't schedule it, then I'm gonna fit it in when I can. That's
Right,
better than nothing.
right, right.
Hmm.
And so the other thing is like again, it's an excuse to not work out. I have the time. Like I can make time 1 hour a day to go. Like I can do push-ups and sit-ups in my house. I don't
Yeah.
need to go to a gym to work out. I can go on a walk around our neighborhood with my weighted pack that I have. I
Yeah.
can I mean shit, I have a squat rack in my garage and weights and stuff and some dumbbells that I just don't use. I
Yeah.
could do something, but I chose not to. So um there I, what I'm doing is I'm making an excuse
Yeah.
straight up. I
Yeah.
could do a workout. It's right there in front of me. I just have to do it. I just
Yeah.
have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Do you
What
feel
about
like your
you?
willpower? Do you feel like your willpower has changed as you've gotten older, or no? For better or worse?
If you asked me last month, I would have said absolutely not, because I was eating like a slob. I was, you know, I was still kind of working out off and on. I've always kind of worked out off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I've never really gone through a period of time where I'm just 4 or 5 months in a row of nothing. Right. I've always been like, I'll hit the gym, and maybe it's just one day, but
Yeah.
I hit the gym that week. Right. Or maybe I don't feel like it, but I go on a walk or some shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. I've never just been straight up a dead zone.
Yeah.
But now, when you have big realizations like, dude, you're getting old, and diet plays a huge role in what you're doing,
Yeah.
um, my willpower is now stronger than what it was last month. And it's not because I want it to be, it's because it kind of has to be
Yeah.
if I want the results that I'm looking for.
Yeah. 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 I think I think too all or nothing instead of just being flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is I love the gym that we've been talking about. I think it's awesome. It's an awesome place, but as I've gotten older, I get hurt more often. Like my body just it's weird how it doing things that I would normally do when I was younger wouldn't have gotten hurt, but doing it older I get hurt. So last July I dislocated a toe playing pickleball. I was just doing an athletic move and my toe just popped out and was just sticking out of the top of my foot. And I just pulled it down and just put it right back in. And then that needed weeks and weeks and weeks to heal. And dude, I wouldn't. When I was younger, I would have never had a toe pop out of joint. That's
Right.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Why does that happen? So that
Right.
you know, so that happens. So I'm like going to the gym, super good shape, life's awesome. Boom, dislocated toe. Well, that
Mm-hmm.
gym is like a lot of running around, a lot of cardio, a lot, all the things. And I
Yep.
just I just stopped going until it
Yep.
healed. So that put me out. I was out of the gym for at least a month, maybe even 6 weeks, trying to let this toe heal because I didn't want it to pop out again. And so I
Yep.
chose to do nothing. I should have done something in that time.
Right.
I really
Right.
regret like not doing anything for those 6 weeks.
Yep.
I should have been
I
more flexible.
I see, and that's the thing with me. I went through a period with my knees where my knee was just junk. Right?
Hmm.
Does your knee mean you can't do push-ups or sit-ups or do
Yeah,
curls
exactly.
or shoulder press or sit in a chair and do triceps or whatever the case is? Like, you can do something,
Yep.
right? We turn lazy and we decide not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. 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 That's exactly right. Then I hurt my lower back, and then it's like, oh, can't go to the gym. I could have done something. I could have done curls.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done shoulders, probably some. Like I could have figured something out. I could have just walked, but I
Right.
just chose to do nothing. I'm just gonna heal, And then I've mentioned in this podcast, I cut the end of my finger off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, stop going to the gym. Hurt my
Yeah.
hand. So I need to be doing other things. In fact, this conversation's inspiring me. I'm gonna make sure that I go for a walk today.
Yeah.
So if
And
you see me walking around Swisher, that's what I'm doing.
I think accountability, right, is a huge thing that we have to have with ourselves, right? It's like, yes, it's okay. So let's say me and you partner up and we go, hey, dude, gym time, let's go. It's awesome to have those types of people,
Hmm.
where we can, hey, what'd you have to eat today? Like, I used to have a guy who I would work. It just so happened that we had the same schedule and we worked out at the same time, and so we would spot each other and kind of go through the same workout with each other. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I had his phone number. We just
Right.
were there all the time,
Yeah.
and he was serious about his diet. I wasn't, and that was back when I was crushing like 18 beers, and he's like, What'd you have for supper last night?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I had Subway." He's like, "Fat ass." Like, and he's just like,
Yeah,
he's like, you don't, I mean, he was pretty arrogant too. He was like lifting up his shirt. He's like, you don't get these on Subway, dog. You got to get
yeah,
chicken. You got to eat chicken and rice and shit like that. I'm just like, okay, buddy, whatever. And so, but what that did was there were times where I was like, I would envision this guy in my head while I'm reaching for the Oreos in Hy-Vee.
yeah,
And I'm just like, better not, better
yeah,
not. So,
yeah,
um, I don't know. Like, there's certain things that I do now that really do help. And I would challenge you to do this, and that would be to um, get an app on your phone that allows you to track your calories.
yeah. I have it, and I love. Life is good when I use it too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
And
really
I'm
good. I
not
actually
saying,
really like it.
yeah. And for those of you outside, maybe who are listening to this who don't do that, I'm not telling you to change your diet. I am telling you to use that app, use an app. The one I use is called Fitness Pal.
My Fitness Pal, yeah.
My Fitness Pal, yeah. And so what I would do is I would just track your food for a day, and you're going to be blown away by how much food you eat. And I don't just mean just your major meals. I mean like the other day, there was a Sour Patch bag. My wife loves Sour Patch Kids, and it was open on the counter. And every time I walked by it, it was like 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then
Yeah,
I'm reading on the package. I probably had about 2 servings of that. That's 300 calories.
yeah,
And I'm like, holy shit, dude. That
yeah,
I just ate
yeah.
300 calories of the worst dye and sugar that you can eat.
That's right. Yeah. Meanwhile, your wife probably walks by and eats like the head off of one. An
Yep.
hour later, she walks by, eats like the shoulders off it. And
Yep.
another couple hours goes by, she eats the whole torso. Like,
She eats 4 a day, right? Or something like that.
it
And it's
spaces them
like
out.
30 calories. And here I am. I'm just like,
Oh
I
yeah,
felt like I was Gollum eating the fish in the Lord of the Rings.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, that's pretty funny. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And that app is actually super easy if anybody out there has never used an app like that before. It's a little bit of front end loaded that the first time that you're logging each food, you have to go find it in the app. But what's nice is that it saves every food that you eat. And so,
Yep.
you know, that's another thing is you realize is that wow, I pretty much eat the same things. If you look at my diet week to week to week to week, there's a lot of overlap. So you
Yep.
really don't have to search for things in the app very much before you have it pretty comprehensive.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It's shocking. People are like, why? How come I'm gaining weight, or how come I can't lose weight? And it's like, what's your calorie deficit look like?
Yeah.
But a major thing that I learned with that, learned it the hard way, was when I'm working out, it's way easier for me to do good with my diet because if I've exercised, then I'm like, well, I don't want to ruin that by eating bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wreck that. That was awesome. I burned
Yep.
it. I burned 700 calories, 800 calories. This is great. So I would do awesome on all the days that I worked out, and then the weekend would come, and I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I get a relaxed day,
Mm-hmm.
or you can call it a cheat day, or just go relax day, whatever. Dude, you can ruin your weekly calorie deficit in one day. You can do super good Monday through Friday, and then just do poorly on Saturday and Sunday, and all of a sudden, all that big calorie deficit that you developed the whole week is out the window.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the world? How come I'm not losing weight? It's like, well, you probably can't have a gigantic sugary breakfast on Saturday and Sunday.
Right. Right.
Another thing I did real quick, I learned I did a little research, and there's about 3,500 calories in 1 pound of human fat. So that means you have to have what like a 500 calorie deficit per day to lose
Mm-hmm.
a pound of fat a week.
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say that you're being awesome and you're in a 500 calorie a day deficit Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends you eat an extra 2,000 calories each day, well, you're not losing any weight.
Yep. Yep.
So what were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's a great example of what I was just gonna say, and it's pretty powerful when you look at it like that. Because let's see, I started tracking my meals here. Let me pull up my pull up my dashboard here. All right, so I started tracking my meals about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Or no, I think. yesterday was 14. It was 14 days.
Okay.
I started out at 232 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I am on a 1750 calorie intake a
Wow.
day. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Um, and I try to go to the gym 3 times a week anyway. And just from tracking my food, my calorie intake, let's see, yesterday morning, I weighed in at 221.5. Okay. So
Jeez.
that's roughly 12 pounds in 14 days
Yeah.
just for changing my diet. Now, yesterday, I gave myself a cheat day. Okay. I weighed myself this morning 226, right? So that's 5 pounds up in 24 hours
Yeah.
from now. I know some of this is probably sitting in my stomach waiting to be pooped out or whatever. You
Yep.
know, like
Yep.
there's always these
Yeah.
people who think they're
Yeah.
smart. But here's what I'll tell you. The momentum is what excites me, right? Okay, dude, I'm down. Let's get down more.
Yeah.
Let's set goals. Let's set short-term goals. And I do this with my kids with their sports. I do it with me and my business.
Mm-hmm.
Write down what your goal is. Write down what the steps it takes and process that you need to get to that goal. And physically, dude, I need to eat less. I need to eat healthier. I need to work out 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I don't know, whatever your goal is. Make gym time. Go on a walk, get 10,000 steps. Whatever the hell you want to write down, and then you hold yourself accountable to that little piece of paper on your fridge
Mm-hmm.
or your bathroom mirror or on your computer stand or
Yeah.
hell, I mean,
Where do you have yours?
mine.
Yeah. Do you have it
Um,
written down somewhere?
it's in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. And this right here is also almost like writing it down,
Yeah.
right? Your app, because you get to see it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, I like usually I'm a weekend bender where I binge on the weekend. Today I can't do that because yesterday I did it. So I don't
Yeah.
want to go 2 days in a row of ruining myself because shit, that's another 10 pounds. And now right back to where I started.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't want to. I gotta eat healthy. I gotta drink water. I gotta work out. And
Yeah.
Kyle, what are the benefit? Like, how do you feel when you follow these rules? And
God, I just feel so much better.
yeah,
It's such a weird thing about being older to me is how purposeful I have to be with this stuff that just used to just be absolutely second nature built into my life,
yep,
no problem at all. But dude, I feel so much better when I don't eat like total shit.
uh-huh,
And I feel so much better when I exercise. And
yes,
the other one that we haven't really mentioned much is sleep.
oh,
if
dude,
if 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 I'm getting, I mean, there's just an enormous difference in my life if I sleep poorly versus sleeping only okay.
yep, yep,
What's your
that,
sleep like?
dude, it sucks. It sucks,
Why?
man. It sucks because I should be going to bed about 10 o'clock, but I have work to do at night. And so there's nights where I'm sitting at the kitchen table. Twice this week, I went to 11, right? And then I can't fall asleep right away.
Yeah.
And so I sit on the couch, and then maybe it's midnight, 12:30, and then I'm up at 6, right? So that's
Mm.
5.5, 6 hours of sleep. It's not
Yeah.
enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I wake up groggy. I really do struggle with sleep and caffeine. I do a ton of caffeine throughout the day to stay awake.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not, I'm in a, I don't like, I'm making it sound like I'm in this bad place. I'm kind of a high energy guy,
Yeah.
but I also know that I need more. I wish I could do what my wife does. My wife is in bed by like 8 o'clock and she sleeps till 6,
Yeah.
if not longer some days. And I'm just like, holy shit, how can you do that? Like, it must, like, that would be awesome if I could do that. But, sometimes the kids are still up and I got to take care of that. And now that it's summertime, they're going to want to be able to stay up later.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and, I still have like work to do. And,
Mm.
And so long story short, it's just a straight up balance. You just have to get into a routine and do it. And then when you come out of that routine, I've heard some really interesting facts about sleep where it's like, if you, if you come off your routine for like, you're getting 8 hours of sleep and you come off that and you get like a day of like 5 hours of sleep, it takes you like an entire week to recover from just that one night of missed sleep.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy things.
Yeah. Makes
Um,
me wonder what that would say about a person that, never gets good sleep or like most nights is bad. That means they're functioning at probably 60% of what they could be.
oh yeah. I'll tell you right now, this week has been a horrible week of sleep for me, and I look in the mirror and I look older. I'm not joking. Now, when I get good
Yeah.
sleep and I'm well hydrated and I'm healthy, I don't look as old. So, from a vanity
Right.
standpoint, get more sleep. I do have to ask you this: do you have another meeting coming up at 9:30?
I have a meeting at 10.
Okay, good. So we have some time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I do. There is something that I want to talk about because
Okay.
I did it at my age. So we've been talking a lot about guys our age. All right. So
Yeah.
I just for one statement, I want to talk about guys who are in their 20s and younger.
Okay.
Right. You have the ability right now to change your lifestyle where none of this shit will happen to you. Right. Start your healthy lifestyle now, and you will benefit so greatly
Mm-hmm.
from what it is. Put
Yeah.
down the drugs and alcohol. And this is like, if the 44-year-old version of me tried to tell the 20-year-old version of me to stop drinking and eat healthy, I would have been like, "You're a pussy, dude. Shut up." Like,
Right.
like, what are you talking about, nerd? Right? And
Right.
so I I don't know who our demographic is
Yeah.
on this
Right.
show, but if you are like just out of control right now, stop. Just do it and stop. Trust it from a guy who abused food, alcohol, sleep, everything. Just change it now. Stop it now. Get into a healthy routine, and your life will be better. Okay, so
Yeah.
I got.
I think it's a great message. I have often thought, man, I really regret getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that exercise was just a major part of my life forever. And it would have been so much easier if I never would have gotten out of the rhythm of it.
Yes, yes. Okay, 37 years old. I'm 37 years old in this story, and I hit a wall. I hit a wall. When I was in 30, when I turned 37,
Hmm.
I like just a whole bunch of things happened to me. Um, Hangovers got worse, gained weight real fast. Took me longer to recover between workouts. Physically, I was kind of going down at this
Yeah.
point, just like energy loss, and that kind of compounded until I turned 41. Okay, to the point where I would wake up. Even after 8 hours of sleep, I would wake up and be tired all day long, even after loads of caffeine. Okay. So my question to you is: have you ever got your blood work done?
Mm. Man, did you talk to my wife before we got on this? Did she put you up to this?
No, no. Is that a conversation in your house right now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think literally this morning. So she's been on me recently about getting blood work done, and
Mm-hmm.
even just this morning again reminded me like, hey, call to schedule that appointment because no, I haven't, and I think it would be a wise thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But no. So where are you going with that?
I'm going with going down this testosterone road. Okay.
Say more. I'm
Um,
interested.
so 37, like, and I'm not talking like a lot of men associate testosterone with sex and boners. Well, that's how you get boners, is because your testosterone allows you to get the boner, right? And so
Yeah.
there are some guys out there who they have such a low testosterone that like maybe they have some type of erectile dysfunction. Now, I didn't have that part of it, but I did have this giant energy loss, um, probably some of it was because of diet. Probably some of it was because I was probably drinking too much at that time. I there was periods of time in there that I was really working out, and I mean really working out hard. Before the gym that you go to, I helped manage another gym where
Mhm.
me and Sarah went, and it was intense, like what that was. And so
Yep.
this whole thing happened. Well, I got to a point where I'm just like, Jesus, man, I'm tired all day long, even without alcohol. I don't want to do anything. Um, Admittedly, I was also having bad thoughts. Now, I don't want to say suicide because that's a big thing,
Yeah.
but I was just having a lot of self doubt thoughts. I was having a lot of hate, like hating myself type thoughts, to
Mm-hmm.
the point where I even, um, there were certain things where I felt like I needed an antidepressant.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I tried an antidepressant for, I don't even know, like felt for 2 weeks, really, is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh God. It was the worst thing that I felt. I felt like it made me like have the additional feelings, like just more of the feelings that I was already having.
Yeah.
I made me feel slow, and I was in glue, and I was sad, even worse than
Yeah.
what I was. All right. So
Yeah.
I instantly stopped taking that. And
Yeah.
then I started doing like research. Why am I tired and all this stuff? And they said, we should go get your blood work taken. So I went and got my blood work taken. And I had extremely low testosterone.
Mm.
Okay. And this is going to sound nuts because, like, dude, I went and got my testosterone levels checked, and my doctor goes, we can't do anything for you because it's above a certain point. So, like, insurance, right?
Right.
Insurance
Yeah.
says, dude, we have to hit a magic number. We're not doing anything on an individual basis, whatever. And so I got my blood. I went to a one of these men's clinics to talk more about that because the doctors, they just shut you off. They're like, there's nothing. Just eat healthier, work out, and get more sleep. I'm like, okay, well I do that already. I'm Something's wrong with me. I feel like sad, and I'm all this shit.
Yeah.
And so all they want to do is give you a prescription and send you out the door. They don't give a
Right.
shit about you. Men's health. They do my testosterone. They're like, holy shit. They tested it 3 times, and I was like 208. One of them,
Okay.
208, which is the bottom of the barrel for testosterone. And
Okay.
I have never abused any type of steroid or testosterone in the past, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And so I started taking TRT,
Yeah.
testosterone hormone, for a while, and that was when I was 41. You want to talk about an absolute life changing event I had?
Really.
I woke up one morning and the world was different. I mean, I was just like, angels were singing. It was like, ah.
Right.
Dude, I felt young. I could go to the gym and literally work out and not get tired. I mean, I could go, right? I was happier. I was a better
Mm-hmm.
dad. I was a
Mm-hmm.
better husband, I felt like.
Huh.
And then obviously the other benefits of that, of what everybody thinks of, I
Yeah.
lost weight. I got strong as shit.
Yeah.
Um, I I had more motivation internally. And,
Yeah.
I guess the only downfall I would say is that, um, I was hornier
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah.
then you have to remember that you have a partner
Yeah.
who is also the same age as you, who's not on that stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
right.
so there's a little bit of frustration there where I wanted to go and she didn't want to go, anyway. So that was okay. So what happened was, over time, um, it, the levels level out, and then so they bumped up my injection. Well, that little bump in my injection that we had to kind of find ended up giving me a shit ton of acne on my
Oh.
chest and on my back. And I
Oh.
mean, to the point where, like, we've been to pool parties before. I did
Yeah.
not want to take my shirt off. I did not want to
Uh-huh.
go swimming. I mean, it was the big gross kinds of acne.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we were trying to find a way to balance that. And eventually, the acne won in that battle, and so I stopped taking the the
Oh,
hormone
interesting.
replacement therapy.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
it's something that you should definitely consult in a professional.
Yeah.
But when you turn our age, there I would always start with like working out, eating healthy, and then trying to like get your blood work done before you go to the extreme of what I went to.
Yeah.
But I'm actually thinking about here in the next couple months getting back on it again if I can find a way to balance it so that I don't have those side effects again.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Especially if you share that with your doctors, then hopefully they would know how to titrate
mm-hmm,
it.
mm-hmm,
So to a level, it's like you can get some benefit out of it. Maybe you can't use as much as you wish you could, but
mm-hmm,
some is better than nothing. I mean, obviously I don't know for sure, but yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Why throw the baby out with the bath water?
yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Limitless where the guy takes the pill and he just, dude, that's what it felt like. Like, dude,
Yeah.
it felt, I felt amazing.
Yeah.
And so then
Mm.
now that I'm off of it, I want that feeling again. And getting old sucks, right? And if,
Mm.
obviously there's goods and bads with everything. Like, again,
Yeah.
consult your physical or your physicians before doing anything.
Yeah.
But it's something that I feel like just people
Yeah.
just need to be aware of
Yeah.
these
Well,
things.
I
You don't,
really appreciate. Sorry, I talked
yeah,
over you.
no,
I
go for
really
it.
appreciate that you brought that up. I think another important thing is for men to be like open and honest
Yep.
about their own journeys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing that I think most of us wouldn't even think to consider.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, I think it's probably, and correct me if you think I'm wrong on this, but if we feel down, if we feel low, if we feel sluggish, if we feel all of those things, I think we're a lot more likely to just put it on ourselves, like just think that we suck, rather than
Yeah.
considering the possibility that maybe there's something else going on, and that, you know what, go get your blood work tested. Maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
vitamin D deficient.
Yeah.
Maybe you have low iron levels. Like those are both things that can make you feel tired and sluggish. Maybe you have low testosterone. Like
Mm-hmm.
there could be an underlying cause that makes you feel the way you feel, but if you didn't realize that, then you're actually just attributing it to your personality and character. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I just suck. I'm just a depressed person. I'm just unmotivated. I'm just these things. Like, oh, you might not be.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
fact, also funny that you say that, because when clients come to me with depressive symptoms, one of the first things I say is like, go rule out the medical, go get your blood work done
Mm-hmm.
to see if it's low iron, low vitamin C, things like that, or vitamin
Yeah.
D. I mean, and I've had people come back and be like, oh yeah, I was like severely vitamin D deficient, and I'm on these crazy doses of vitamin D, and I feel so much better.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, see, you don't suck.
Yeah.
Life's not as
Yeah.
bad as you like assume that it was. There was an underlying cause happening that you
Right.
weren't aware of. Yeah, I
Right.
really appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah. And so like a lot of people would be embarrassed by that. Like, oh, you're on TRT. Not number one, number TRT is so popular right now.
Hmm.
It is culturally accepted. I would say when all of these like Limitless Male, Game Day, and some of these other fitness type or like male clinics, I guess you would call
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
uh,
men's health clinics.
men's health clinics. Yes, they those are the norm now, right? Um, and if you do it right, there's not a ton of downside to them if you like. But if you abuse it, like anything, I think what happened was I didn't accept because I was feeling better, but I wanted to feel great, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I think
yeah.
what happened was I wanted more. I bit off more than my body could chew on that,
Yep,
and
yep.
then I ended up probably taking too much of it when I should have just been happy with what I
Okay,
had,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so and then so I went too much, but now I know, right?
Lesson
So
learned.
I think, I mean, the hardest thing, Kyle, is for dudes to accept that they're not the version that they used to be anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And to recognize that you can be purposeful and be a much better version of yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be, yep, I got out of shape. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be, yeah, I'm just tired all the time. It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true that now we have to be purposeful, but dude, it can be a lot better than just being tired and out of shape all the time.
Right. Because literally when the physical side of your life, and I want to hear what you have to say, goes up, the mental side of your life also goes up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, it's funny. I think my friends that I keep in touch with, like on the phone, like I have friends that live all across the country. I talk to them on the phone a lot more often when I'm like doing well in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of an indicator of like how well I'm doing. Like if they haven't heard from me in quite a while, they know that I'm probably like off my diet, not exercising, probably stressed out, you know. And when I'm like on top of my stuff, I'm tracking my calories, I'm working out, like, dude, I'm excited to call. I call them, I've got all kinds of energy. I'm excited to tell them about my life, all the things. It's like I either like go into my hole if I'm not doing well, or I like want to be out with the world if I am
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah. That's a fact. Now I do have to I feel like I'm hogging
No, you're doing
this
great.
conversation,
No, no.
but I will say this. There are days where I'm in front of a computer like 10 hours a day.
Hmm.
Sucks, right? Do you want to know one thing that just changes my mood?
Hmm. Yes.
And, and that is go outside. I don't care if it's 20 below zero, bundle up. I don't care if it's hot as shit and you're dripping sweat in August and July, wear
Yeah.
a tank top. Dude, go outside, go for a walk, stimulate your body to the elements, breathe in a lot of air, whatever it is, and I swear to God, within minutes, you're gonna start feeling better. Like every time I start feeling like just anxious and shit, get
Yeah.
outside, go for a walk, or even
Yeah.
if it's just around my house, pick up some sticks in my yard,
Yeah.
take a break, dude. Go
Yeah.
for a walk.
Yeah.
Period. That
Okay.
helps me out.
Okay. I love that. I think that's awesome. I think after this, I'm gonna, because I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I think after this, I'm gonna have my breakfast and coffee outside of my porch,
There you go.
just to be outside.
There you go.
Yeah.
Baby steps, right? Baby steps to a better us, Kyle.
That's right. I love it, man. No, this is good. Thank you. Thanks for being open about your own experiences
Hmm.
and sharing your journey and just being real. You know,
Yeah.
not sugarcoating it and not not hiding the things that aren't not hiding the things that are unflattering,
Yeah.
you know? I think that's
Yeah.
good. I really appreciate that, man.
I tell you what, one thing that I've always done, the reason I've just been out loud about my life is because I just don't want to see other people go down that same shit path that I kind of was in. And
Yeah.
so, and that's kind of the reason why we decided to start this, right? We
Yep.
share some of our experiences. We tell the truth about ourselves. Sometimes it feels good to tell the truth
Yeah.
about yourself. It
Yeah.
might, there's so many people out there that get embarrassed by their imperfections, but that's just life. Everybody has the imperfections, right? So, um, the last question I have for you is we're on this physical fitness, mental well being type of conversation today. What
Hmm.
are your goals? Maybe a short term goal and a long term goal that you're physically wanting to get done in the next handful of months or by the end of this year or something like that.
Okay. Okay. So by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, I would love to be below 200 pounds. That would be awesome. I'm in the 230s right now, and I would
Okay.
love to. I feel like I personally I have no reason being above 200 pounds. You know,
Okay.
I think
All
a
right.
healthy weight for me is under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Um, short term goal would be to consistently track my calories
Mm-hmm.
and incorporate at least some exercise every day. and not have to not have to make that grandiose, but just to keep that habit alive, because that makes it so much easier for me to be wise with my eating.
Yep. Right.
How about you?
I so my magic number is like 225, right? So if I'm under 220, so there's a couple things. If I'm under 225, I don't snore at night anymore, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
And then also, but if I eat late at night, I snore. So I have a couple goals. Is my to stay under 225. Eventually, I want to get down to about 200. But I
mhm,
also want to be on a routine, more of a routine where I'm not having to eat late at night.
yeah,
Maybe eat closer to 4 o'clock if that means, like, or give myself a window from noon to 4 every day. I can eat all my calories,
yeah,
and it's almost like a fasting type deal. Maybe I don't know,
yeah, yeah,
but I want to find a routine. My goal would also be to get somewhere around this 200. On my Fitness Pal, I gave myself a 210. That's my first step,
yeah,
is to
yeah.
get down to 210. So I'm about 14, 15 pounds away from that right now. I
Yep.
feel like by October, maybe I could be
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
maybe keep going after that. But
Right on.
um, the other thing is just continue to exercise. I have to change uh, my routine because of my shoulders and my knees. So
Yep.
it's going to be a lot more like functional movements where I'm like walking up stairs, or
Yeah.
like I'm not squatting 400 pounds anymore. I'm not benching 400 pounds anymore. It's just like, dude, I'm too old for, like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon would say, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. No, absolutely. Just want to be functional for life and play with my
Yep.
kids.
Yep. Yep.
Right
And
on,
that's
man.
that's the thing. Play with my kids, man. Just play, dude. I just want to hang with my kids, man. That's all I
Yep.
want to do.
Exactly. Love it. Cool. Well, that's probably a good note to end on then.
Yep, absolutely. I tell you what we should do. Let's that down, write our goals down, put it on our
Yep.
computer or on sticky note somewhere so we can look at it every day. And
Okay.
then we'll touch base here in a little bit.
Let's do it.
All right. Any final thoughts, Kyle?
Nope. I appreciate you. Thanks for your openness. Thanks for leading with openness and vulnerability.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate your time and what you do. And I'm looking forward to another episode. Until next time, everybody, go to iTunes, leave a review. Go to Spotify, leave a review. If you have any questions for us, hit us up through the Man Therapy Instagram page, and maybe we'll start doing some like listener questions at this point. So
Mhm.
good vibes, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.